In this short video, I will demonstrate how to differentiate between arcuate and subseptate uterus using this 20-year-old as a case example who presented with primary infertility. She was referred for Lidonkel gels on HSG, where both tubes were patent with free peritoneal spillage. Generally, the suspicion of uterine anomaly begins with a 2D ultrasound, where the transverse diameter will be seen to be broad. As you can see in this case, look at the transverse diameter, it's broad. Number two, look at two endometrial cavities. On a longitudinal section, on moving from one corner to the other, the endometrial length appears short in the midline, but becomes long on both corneal ends. It is important to note that on 2D ultrasound, it is difficult to differentiate between arcuate, subseptate, septate, and biconate, as seen here. Here, all you can see are two endometrial cavities. Is it arcuate? Is it subseptate? Is it septate? Is it biconate? This is best answered by 3D ultrasound or MRI. Now let's play this video. Clearly you can already see the two endometrial cavities, but let's go down to the cervix and move from the cervix to the fundus and see the split of the endometrial stripes as we move from the cervix, here the cervix, towards the fundus. So this is cervix. Now as we move towards the fundus, not this split of endometrial cavity. This is a 3D coronal view of a normal uterus. The diagnosis of uterine anomaly requires evaluation of both the external fundal contour, this is the external fundal contour, and the shape of the uterine cavity, and this is the normal triangular shape of the normal endometrial cavity. The normal external fundal contour is convex or indentation less than 10 millimeters. Is convex or indentation less than 10 millimeters. While the internal fundal contour is flat or convex. The internal fundal contour is flat or convex. Now, these are the common uterine anomalies. Remember, to make the diagnosis, we need to look at the external fundal contour and also the shape of the endometrial cavity. Now, in all, the shape of the endometrial cavity is abnormal, but the abnormality varies from one type of uterine anomaly to the other. For the external fundal contour, it is normal in all except biconal uterus and uterine didelphys. So in that case, what is the imaging modality or assessment modality of choice? At laparotomy, well, we're able to see the external fundal contour, but the shape of the endometrial cavity will not be seen at laparotomy. This is also true of laparoscopy. When using hysteroscopy, the external fundal contour cannot be seen, but the endometrial shape can be determined. We're using HSG as a diagnostic modality. External fundal contour cannot be seen, but the shape of the endometrial cavity can be seen, as seen in this case. When using 3D ultrasound and magnetic resonance imaging, both the external fundal contour and the endometrial shape are clearly seen. So, ultrasound is the primary diagnostic modality of congenital uterine anomaly, especially 3D ultrasound. Now, these are the 2D images. You can see two distinct endometrial cavities. Here is a fire mode. And of course, the primary diagnostic modality of choice is 3D ultrasound. So with this 3D here, you can see that what we've seen here is not subseptate, it's not paraconate, but arcuate uterus. Why? Because the indentation here is just 0.6 T, which is less than 10. So this is arcuate uterus. So let's look at what is abnormal external contour and abnormal internal contour. Abnormal external contour is when the indentation of the myometrium in the midline is more than or equal to 10 millimeters. Here, when the indentation is more than or equal to 10 millimeters is considered abnormal external frontal contour. Now let's remember this is the endometrial cavity. You can see an indentation here. Now look at the upper ends of the cavities. Now look at this line has crossed the upper ends of the endometrial cavities. The uterine fundus crosses below the line joining the upper ends of the cavities. The uterine fundus crosses this line or is less than or equal to 5 millimeters from it, or is less than or equal to 5 millimeters from this. This is also considered abnormal external fundal contour. What of the internal fundal contour? If there is any indentation in the superior outline, any indentation here, as seen here, makes the internal fundal contour abnormal. So let's compare these two images from two different cases. This is a 20-year-old nullipara being evaluated for primary infertility. Here you can see normal fundal contour. 28-year-old, look at this, para 0 plus 9. Again, normal fundal contour. Look at the depth of indentation here, it's less than 10, while the depth of indentation here is more than 10. So this is arcuate uterus, while this is uterine subseptum. Why subseptum? Because the septum has not reached the internal fossa. Generally, the angle in the center in arcuate is greater than 90 degrees, while it's less than 90 degrees in uterine subseptum. Let's remember, the septate and subseptate uterus are the commonest congenital uterine anomalies encounters, and they have the poorest operative outcome. Look at this patient. Para 0 plus 9. SSG diagnosed this as a biconal uterus, but on 3D, one can see that the fundal contour is normal. So this is subseptate uterus and not a biconal uterus. Luckily, this patient is being planned for hysteroscopic resection of the septum. Again, normal fundal contour, normal fundal contour. In biconal uterus, this fundus will not be normal. Remember, the only two conditions that can give abnormal fundal contour are biconal uterus and uterine metal fish. Thank you very much for listening.